Hello, good morning everybody. I hope you're doing beautiful. Well, sorry it's been a while I haven't been here, so I'm gonna take a little break to edit some video for you, okay? So in the next videos that is coming up, these are divinely guided through the weekend. I was just waiting for confirmation before I release these messages. But first and foremost, one of the messages is not for... Anyways, I had to wait for confirmation for this. It's not for cloud. It's for a specific reason that God is using this situation to give an example to other people. But it's not because that person is in the wrong or right or whatever. It's just it's an example. Another thing is that this person, it was such a high ranking that I had to wait for a couple of days. I had to do a little bit of fasting as well, going through a lot of stuff. And that too, I got reprimanded because I didn't want to do this video, to be honest. Like after it was done, I didn't want to do it. So I had to go through not only God, but I had to go through that person's ancestors. And I had to ask for permission because, yeah, so the enemy also has been attacking because this, before even the video has been released. So a lot of you will understand this message, what I mean, and others of you is just gonna, which is okay. So yeah, I had to go through certain ancestors, which is good because this one, it means this is like a soul family person. We are in the same soul family and we have similar ancestors, so it was kind of in a way because that too, I have to protect my energy because I don't know what's going on with that person or whatever situation, and me talking about it here and like I don't know, I want to give an example to other people that if you want to like kind of kindly talk to someone about something, you really have to ask permission to God first and those people's ancestors, okay? And if it's a no, it's a no, okay? Me, I was hoping there was a no. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just a messenger, okay? And I'm not here to tell people what to do or not to do. Like, that's their business, that's their free will that they're choosing, right? But the way that God explained it to me, it makes sense as always, but I was just very stubborn. So I got in trouble, okay? Let me just say, I got in trouble for it. And yeah, I'm taking it like a champ because it's not about me. That's what you say. It's not about you, and it's about the other person. It's about other people. So I was letting my ego, like, oh no, like what do people think about that? Like I shouldn't be talking about people, but I'm not saying names in this video or anything. But you guys will put two and two together because there will be a video that will confirm it in the description below, and I say it in the part in the weekend as well. So there's going to be I think it's 3 messages. Yeah, it's 3 specific messages that is going to be released that he wants me to put out there, and then we'll see what happens after that because I have a meeting soon, so I'm just editing right now before the meeting, and then we will see. But it's a lot in the background going on, so thank you guys so much for your patience, your love, your support. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your prayers, your good vibes you send my way, okay? But yeah, God is working and doing a lot of things behind the scene, okay? And that's one another thing that I'm learning as well through this experience is that you got to be obedient because you never know. So one of the videos is explaining why that's important. The second video is where, because I didn't post the video like he told me to post it, but it's because I also I respect this person. I think what they're doing, it's beautiful and it's amazing, and God also too, they're very proud of her or him, can't say, but also he feels like a lot of people praise this person too much, and because they're in a high ranking, they have yeah, but nobody's higher than God, right? But the reason is because this person probably watches me, or other people watch me or something like that, and I don't know, if this video founds you, it's, you know who you are, okay? You'll know it's about you because obviously you will see their video in the description below. And like I said I explained it in that video where it's not to judge you. It's not none of that. It's just that just a little twig that you have to pay attention, because I feel like you just bypass it, you didn't notice it, and God wants you to notice it. And I feel like this is not the first confirmation you got. I think he has given you signs already. Your ancestors also spoke to you about this, so this is between you and God, and that's okay. But God wants you just to know that he's using your experience to give an example to other people, but also for you to, just take a step back. Take a step back and like reflect, and it's okay. We're all here to grow. We're here, and it's not to judge you or to like, point out fingers. Oh, you're doing this bad. No, you're doing amazing. This is why I got in trouble, because who am I to tell someone like, oh, by the way, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because that's why I felt weird. And I wanted to be, as I usually, you guys know me if you've been here before. And those who are new subscriber, hi. Welcome to the family. Okay. You know that you're doing the right thing. Like you don't need to hear from me, or you don't need to hear from anybody else. You're doing the right thing. It's just that intuitively you'll know that. And I spoke to ancestors about this, by the way. You have some ruthless, cool ancestors, okay? They see my point as well of what I was saying. And also because I guess maybe you were going through something, or you were very busy, you're very, you didn't notice these things, and God wants you to notice the little people, okay? Even when you're like out there, even though you're doing well, in your business or work or family, whatever, we all go through that, okay? We all have to be humbled and remember like, oh wait, I have to take a step back. I have to look at other, I have to pay attention, because we're not perfect, okay? But it's something that he said that you just miss a little bit, and he's gonna use that, not for bad, it's just that he's gonna use that as an example to show other people, but also that too is your experience and also my experience, because I went through something like that and I got convicted for it. But also it was a conviction where I learned lessons through there not to do that again. You know what I'm saying? Not to like assume or judge or think that someone's going through something because, oh, that's what they get. You have to be careful with that, okay? Because it's not everything that everybody attracts. Nobody attracts abuse and people doing stuff spiritually to them, right? Nobody attracts this jealous, envious energy who surrounds them, especially if, but then again, you know your situation, right? You know that person, if they are in that energy and you're trying to also, guide them to like do better or something like that, then you're on your right? But let's say this person has a good heart, and it's not really, it's not their fault that they are attracting this kind of like leeches, and you happen to be around this person and you thought that it was the energy that they were attracting, right? Which is okay, it's a mistake. We all make mistakes like that. But the thing is that God is confirming to you that person was going through spiritual warfare. And your lesson there was to pray for both of them. Was to pray for your friend and the person who was attacking them. Anyways, I explain more in that video, in the second video. But yeah. And then the third video is I'm talking about, I think he wants me to emphasize on, spiritual hygiene, and also how spirituality and science, it's a balance between the two, but you guys have to learn how to deal with that, okay? And then yeah, so hope these videos help, and I'll see you guys later after this video. Enjoy. See ya. I just love the silence here. And then this is how he talks too. So the other message, and I'm gonna like lie down with this tree. The other message is that stress kills. I already spoke with people who know me already about this, so I'm kind of like repeating myself, but I think I'm like repeating myself to you and to myself and to whoever watches this in the future, because this is what like God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus are focusing on, really, on regulating the nervous system, because the nervous system is your link, is your souls. You see how the trees have veins, right? These are like veins, right? The like, let me show you what I'm seeing, okay? Trees, right? They all have a purpose, okay? They have a goal. They have even though they might be still, even though they might be silent, they might be in their own bubble, in their own world, they all have their individuality, their own collected, united individuality. So certain trees resemble to this tree and this tree, but either way, they're all connected in the ground, something that it cannot be visible, right? You cannot see it. You can only see the ground, right? You see it's like, this is all you see, but in the ground, they're like internally like connected. And this is why trees are also a source of spirituality and also recharge for you. You have a vertebrae, right? We have a spinal cord, right? So, meditation, this is why I think, I've been saying it a while, but he's been ministering this to me, that spirituality and science, because I study science first, environmental science, and I was unconscious, okay? I wasn't, but everything is done for a purpose. Now I understand why I have to be and do things unconsciously, and then, forgive myself afterwards and work on these things like conviction, repentance, all these things, spiritual heavy stuff that we go through as well, is to prepare us for the heavy stuff of dealing with spiritual warfare. Don't skip steps, I'm telling you. And also remember that stress kills, right? So you need to remember that this world is conditioned and programmed to create stresses for your life. Do you get it? You have to be aware of this. You can't be all like that ignorant. Don't fall for not everything that glitters is gold. You need to be aware of this. Like, I can't stress this enough. And go talk to God. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't, trust your own intuition. Never, like, everything I say here, you need to talk to him and confirm with him. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Keep on going, boo. But if it does, if it resonates, go within, go in. Hermit, I find now that he's showing me, like, in my own way. He keeps it a secret, but I love it. It's okay. He's very protective. But I understand now, because this is bigger than all of y'all. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, no, I gotta be obedient. I gotta do this. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of you're just not afraid of God's wrath. Like, it's like, I'm still like, wow, you did that, huh? You do that? Oh, I don't know. But one thing he keeps saying, stress skills, but also spirituality has to be balanced with science. It has to be balanced. It has to be better connected with science. Like, how spiritually this is connected with something that happened in the Bible that right now could be fixed as a karmic cycle that could be not fixed, but kind of like flashed out, so that a new seed can merge. But a good one, a good seed. Get it? All right, and wise counsel now for everybody. Start noticing synchronicities. Start noticing numbers, animals, time of day, dreams. You need to pay attention. God speaks to y'all and gives you signs individually, uniquely to you, that has nothing to do with any fucking else. Do you understand? All those of you, there's people that have no discernment and are listening to all these weird ass shit, or I don't know, they just have to have better spiritual discernment. But a lot of you, not everything out there is is for you. Okay, like, be conscious of that. Okay, and I'm not here to judge. I'm just the messenger. Like, I'm here to, like, for real. Glory be to God, because, like, you guys don't understand, like, this energy, in order to sustain it and maintain it, you need to be okay inside. We're not saying this just to tell you, like, oh, you should be doing this and that. Like, at least the people who care about, like, I know a lot of you are like, oh, if you're spiritual, you don't need to put it out there. Okay, that's your opinion, but I like to give glory to what God does. I don't know, it just feels good, and we all feel good, we all learn and stuff like that, and also we learn not to make mistakes all over again. So I am against the enemy, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand with the truth. Be aware. Man, in this part, these are my own, like, generation, my own people, like Spanish people. Oh my God, glory be to God. They're so judgy, and then I'm looking at myself like, you're Spanish too, you're Latina too. You know, are you judging? Yeah, you have to look at that stuff within yourself. But yes, that is true. But the other message that I gotta say is that you also have to be discerning. If you're a high-ranking person, this is for high-ranking people, this is not gonna resonate with everybody. I love you, okay? And please just talk to God. It's a message that He delivered to me while watching something you said, or an experience that you experienced that you share online, right? There's no judgment, at least not for me. I'm just delivering a message because I can understand why you did it, because I went through something like that and I also got convicted for it. And I'm trying to pass the wisdom so that you learn to do it better than me. Yes, or than, the next person. I think when we make mistakes is also and fail on something, we also give grace to the other person, but also give glory to God, because He had taught you that. You can't fake spirituality. It comes authentically. We need to be clear about that. Always understand that you will always make mistakes and fail at things, but also you will learn from them, and you will give people grace, and you will forgive and forget, right? It's an authority that you have. It's a responsibility to maintain as a prayer warrior, right? As someone who is not just for the cloud, you're doing this specifically for God, right? Let's keep it real, right? High ranking, I'm speaking. Yes? I'm not in that energy yet, oh Lord, but you have higher ground. You can see better, you can understand better. And I know this is going to upset a lot of people, and this is why He wants me to do this here in this holy ground place, San Joseph Oratory. But the spiritual ego tends to, I feel like this is the same message: stress kills, but also spiritual ego, because He gave me in different times the message. So I was like, okay, how can I say this, God, that it doesn't sound like I'm judging, like I'm just giving a message? Because it's true, I don't know what your situation was, what you were feeling at that time, who was going on. Like, I don't know the background, so it's weird to say something that I don't know the meaning, or that, so I don't want to sound like I'm judging you. Like, I was heavily judged in this church, okay? Like, I was like, I know what that feels like. So I don't want to say it in a way that makes you guys think that this person is bad or whatever. Like, everyone has a lesson to learn. And if they're open to learn, if they're open to change, then things can evolve. They don't remain stagnant or creating this illusion or maybe selfish reasons to benefit your own self. And like, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you. You have to give the glory to God, because the reason why you exist, why you're breathing, why you're awake, doesn't deserve respect. Come on. Let's be real here. I'm just a mirror, message, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of y'all, oh, the sun is coming out. And it wasn't gonna sun. No, it's actually supposed to be raining. Ooh, it's so beautiful. Look, super bright. You're bright. You're so freaking bright. A lot of you illuminate a lot of people's demons. But this is why you have this gift and talent. Use it wisely. Okay? I'm not judging. I'm just saying you have the opportunity to see in the spirit. So that gift, God does not give it to everybody. okay? And yes, you have a lot of people who are jealous that you have this gift, okay? But don't mess it up. I don't know. Like, a lot of y'all, I mean, you will always mess up. It doesn't matter. Nobody's perfect. Everybody, and God forgives. And this is why you have this relationship too, because He helps you to go through life, to live. Like, this life is great. This is not, I'm telling you, this body needs to be clean, sacred, to maintain the energy. You don't get it. This is what the enemy doesn't want you guys to know and to hear. But I don't care. The truth is the truth, and you'll know, because your hair will go up. You will feel it intuitively. You will know. You'll know, right? Because I don't need to be doing this. I just follow my purpose, and my purpose, somehow, somewhere, it comes with the gift of discernment, the way to pray for others, anyways, there's more, but I don't need to be telling it's just what it is. And I don't seek the validation from, oh, hello, a beautiful bee. Do you see it? Oh, she ran away. It was big. Yeah, you're the queen bee. That was like a queen. It's gigantic. A lot of you are. You're like this bee, but how those bee work? They're not loud. They create honey and beautiful things. It's silent, private. Maybe between them and God. Who knows? Who are you to judge? Shit. What I'm trying to say is that the Lord says that you have a gift, okay? And that is to pray for others and rebuke and counsel and delete spirit, like demonic spirit, or someone going through spiritual warfare. You can pray for someone and that stuff can be returned. So it's like, it's sacred. It's a sacred message, okay? So this is why it's not for everybody, but He has put me in my channel right here, and He kept showing me my channel. It's the first time He does that. I'm like, wait, that's my channel? Like, the way He sees it. I've never, and I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with like, subscriber and all that shit. Like, He's like, don't look at that stuff. We're not here for that. We're here for the right people at the right time. Divine timing. Yes, it's hard to people to understand, because you're impatient. You like things your way, not now, this way. And then sometimes this is where things go a little rocky. You get the spiritual ego, and then the spiritual ego can be tricked to do and say things that you later regret, right? And I'm not here to, this is between you and God. I'm not convicting anyone, and do not convict this person. Like, it's just what it is. Next time, when you tell people you are what you attract, you have to be careful with that phrase. It's actually a spell. When you use that word, I'm trying to show someone through alchemy, because God works with alchemy, right? So let's transmute this energy, because when you say that, you have to be careful. Sometimes people are going through spiritual warfare, and they're going to believe what you're saying, and then they're going to think that they deserve what they're getting from someone doing something behind the scene to them, that it's not fair, right? Be careful. The enemy will trick you with this one, okay? And this is the one that God really, really ministers to all of us to learn, okay? You have to be careful using that word, okay? The enemy used that against you. I don't know why it's not written in the Bible and stuff like that, but it should. What you give, what you attract is what you get, okay? But when you are telling someone that, and you don't know, but if you're a high-ranking person, you know already, you should know, you should pay attention to that, then you already know that person is going through spiritual warfare. You wouldn't judge them. You wouldn't put it against them, what someone did to them, against them, right? Because you understand. Now, that's your conviction for that is on between you and God. Now, those who don't know, who are not aware, who don't know this person is going through spiritual warfare, and let's say someone did something to them and it was not okay, but then she told you about it, and then you kind of, and then to you, this person treat you really nice, right? It's a lesson there. There's a message within the message there. And he's not trying to convict you. It's just that you didn't listen to the message where you had to pray for those two people. This is for the high-ranking person. You're supposed to pray for them because one of them attacked the other person because the other person is going through spiritual warfare. Then you kind of judge them in your mind, telling them, oh, you know, you get what you get because that's what you attract. You're a mean person. You're this, you're that. Okay, so then why are they hanging out with you? So you're that too? Let's keep it balanced and be truthful and faithful, right? Are you balanced? Why do you feel so boast and so... I'm telling you, I got convicted for this too. So that's why I'm not judging. I got convicted for that. You felt boastful. You felt, oh yes, you see, I attract abundance and stuff like that, and you got free stuff, right? As well, by the same person that treated your friend like shit, right? But even though you don't know that your friend is actually going to spiritual warfare, so this is a confirmation for you. Pray for your friend. I pray for her as soon as God let me know through your message, through this reading. So this is for you. A lot of it you're gonna know is from this reading, but I don't want you to feel attacked because I love your channel, I love your work, and I don't want to... That's why I said to God, like, I don't know how to put this because that's just weird, because it comes from me that I don't know her life, I don't know about their life, I don't know about this friend. Maybe they're just hanging out, like maybe they help her or something. I don't know the background. Like, it's weird to say this when you don't know the person, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know. And this is why I told God, like, I don't feel worthy to, like, this is weird, but he's like, you have to do it. So you will see it. It will be for you. I know. I told him, like, but this could be maybe talked through an email or text or something. I don't know. But he said it's a lesson that everybody needs to learn. It's not about her, him. At least to make sure that I don't say names. You have a spiritual ranking, whether you like it or not. You gotta get used to it. Sorry. It's just what it is. And I don't want to... That's why I don't want to sound like I'm judging someone. Like, this is not to judge. This is a lesson for a lot of y'all, like, not to judge other people, because no, they're not... At one point they're not attracting what they get. They don't deserve that, and then they internalize this when we say that, when we talk about that. This is why these people... It's important when you're going through your healing, you pray for spiritual discernment, so you'll know that the projection or the feelings or the energy that it comes from another person or their judgment has nothing to do with you. Okay? I feel like a lot of people go within, go in silence and stuff like that, is to assess themselves, to check in with yourself, to especially when we feel some type of way. A lot of you who experience spiritual warfare, you understand the attacks, you understand the feeling of it, you understand a lot of it. So you are doing a disservice when you are not aware that another person that is with you, that's around you, I don't know, that you care, I don't know, is going through something that it's not of the flesh, it's spiritual, right? And you're able to pick it up in the energy, but the enemy will distract you. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the temptation. The enemy will distract you not to pay attention to what you actually intuitively feel and to start praying for that person. But it will actually get you to entertain other energy, another, like what we call in tarot, third party, right? But the third party is actually your own spiritual ego. Oh yeah, let me get there, boo. This is deep. We're going deep, but that's spirituality, right? You want to get into the deep shit? This is it. Okay, sorry about that. The spiritual ego is the third party for a lot of you, because you will choose to look at people, like the validation that they're giving you, the praise, the thing that they're giving you, as a confirmation from you, instead of you going and get confirmation from the Most High, or idolizing other things to give you that extra spiritual ego, like you're doing okay, you're doing good and stuff like that. Like, that's between you and God. I don't know. But that's what I've learned, to be convicted through it. So I'm talking from experience. I'm not just talking from talking, right? This is experience. So you will understand this. in a spiritual sense, in a spiritual level. And it's okay. We all go through that conviction and like humble ourselves, and then, you know, that's part of the ascension process. You understand this, you're not judging, or you love, I think, constructive criticism, so that you can grow, so that you can evolve. So that's how I see it. Those who are open to learn and see from different perspective, but not in a judgmental or purgatory or judgy way. It's kind of like, okay, really understanding the person and seeing it from a different point of view, and learn and digest and intercept and talk to the Most High, and then act accordingly. Okay, so all those things are a process and need to be patient and time. So that's why I'm saying, like, stress kills. Okay, especially if you're doing both things, working on the ground and then working on a 3D level, or in your spiritual, your channel, your other source of income, whatever it is that you're doing. So a lot of you, is very hard, right? And the Lord is helping you, but it's sometimes, you know, you really have to pay attention. Like, other people might not be what you think they might be going through. Like, a lot of people are going through stuff, you know, and it has nothing to do with you, and a lot of us take it personal, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not taking this personal for this person. Like, this is something that I like, okay, this is, I've been convicted of that, and he wants me to say it. Like, don't judge other people because of what you think that you'll know, or you assume, because assumption does kill a lot of, you know, it just creates trust issues, and like invites that portal enemy energy, and we're trying to close that portal, right? So I try to keep it sealed, at least, or like, you know, pray over it, pray for people to not, because it's not a good energy. Okay, oh, you attract what you get. Not during spiritual warfare. Be careful. This is what the enemy seeks, that, and tries to block that person, use it against you, and then you're the one also paying some type of karma, because you kind of judge that person. You kind of, yeah. So a lot of you, will save you, I don't know, a couple, just life, you know. God wants you to focus on life, but also focus on other people. Like, not focus on other people, but like, be obedient. Like, a lot of people are in your energy because they're meant to be learning something, or inspired, or something like that, or like, take it seriously. Okay, now if you get this, go pray for your friend, go pray for everybody. It's okay, it's never too late. Don't ever think like, when you get, like, no, God always like forgives you. He's like, okay, clean slate. Like, yeah, because he knows you. God knows you. God knows your heart. So a lot of you need to believe and trust and know that in your heart. And that too, you need to charge. A lot of you don't know how to charge. You need to charge the spirit. What? This body is from here. Hello? Go in trees, go in the nature whenever you can, go recharge. Hello? Jesus did that every time. He was overwhelmed by people and stuff like that. He would go on the mountain. He would go. It's all over the Bible. Hello? What makes you any different? Go recharge. And that's also how he connected, how he had that connection between him and God. And like, take time for prayer, take time for, like, for real. And yes, fasting is intense. Okay, he did 40 days. Okay, he went out above and beyond. But a lot of us, we cannot do that because we are not him. It's not possible. Okay, and he will tell you. He will tell you, he'll give you 5 days, he will give you 10 days. He will show you numbers and stuff. You have to pay attention. A lot of you, you're so distracted. You're not focused. You need to be focused. Just saying, if you want to not decay, or your body goes to shit, or you get sick or whatever, and I'm telling you, a lot of you, I don't know how you, it's like, because he doesn't lose hope on you guys. He's always hopeful that you'll come back, that you'll, you know, yeah. Now, don't abuse the energy, you know. Just do what you gotta do. Keep it there, okay? Okay, so the other is stress skill, and then the other one was the spiritual ego, to watch out for that, okay? And be grateful when you're shown the light so that you can do better. Now you can actually build a better relationship with that person or with other people. Like, you will know now how beautiful it feels that after you pray for that person, like the connection between you guys is different. It's completely different. Okay. And you will understand that God will show you that energy. He will guide you. Okay. So this is why you need to listen to him. Like, now it's just like you guys looking and you're like, okay, no, this is just confirmation. I'm like, oh my, this is like, I'm my nose. Okay, that probably mean I gotta go, but that was one of them. Stress kill and the spiritual ego to watch out, and you're gonna build better relationship. You're gonna be more grateful today or any of your other day. Like, today was grateful. It was being grateful for unconditional love, for nature, for other people in your life, for those who help, those who support, those who pray for us, those who wish us good juju. Okay, because not everybody does that. Okay, but some people really need it. Okay, and that's something that we need to be like aware and okay with, and be like, okay, let me get my spiritual ego on the side and put myself in the situation of that person, and like, damn, you know, and pray for them. There's nothing wrong with that. I find like it's beautiful, and God is like, he showed me this, like, you know, when you guys pray, it's like it comes in this like spiritual computer. It looked like a magician, like it's so cool. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. He always hears your prayers. He always hears them. Always. And then everything else is divine timing. He makes sure that he's like a mathematician as well. God created science. Hello. Now he's trying to put the pieces together, but it's like, it's just a lot of distraction, but yeah, it's normal. It's called spiritual warfare for a reason, right? A lot of us, he also wants us to focus on joy and peace and love and unconditional love and self-care, self-love. Like, really stop looking for validation from other people, and like really find that love within yourself first. Find that wholeness and peacefulness, and then that's literally, you get that between you and God. That relationship you build with him first before you marry, or before you're with someone, or before you create friendships or unions or whatever, work or whatever. You just put him first. Okay. And that's what he's saying, like, stress kills, right? So this system is created to create stress and chaos and energies to keep you in that, because it's like they profit out of that. They profit of, yeah. Anyways, I can go deeper, but this is it. Like, yeah. So yeah, use your testimony, whatever it is. Rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Anybody sending, send it back to you. Boo boo. Good luck with that. Keep it to yourself. Or rebound it and keep it so it doesn't hurt anybody else. Yes. But still, guys, we all go through the cycle of regeneration, transformation, and like, and it's like, it's gratitude. It's like, you're grateful that you're going through that. Like, God has chosen you to do this. Like, really, don't take it for granted, okay? Don't take people for granted. Don't take his love for granted. But you know that you wouldn't do that, because deep in your heart, you know he created you. So you'll do better. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, Everything else just falls into place when you continue that journey, okay? I don't feel good about this video. I'm just gonna be honest. So if it's out, it's because he really, really intended to. But I don't feel that great, because I know what conviction feels like. I know what like going through repentance feels like. I know that nobody's perfect, okay? And like, I wish that this person had other people to tell them this, but then God puts me in uncomfortable situations like this, not only to talk about this, but also like to let other people know, like, not everybody, like, as you think, is against you, but yes, there is some people that do. This is why he wants you to pray for spiritual discernment. And this is a daily thing, okay? Because if you're working places or situationships and ministry or whatever, prophecy, whatever situation, intuitively, you're heavily attacked right now. So you need to understand that prayer is a requirement. I think that's just what I believe, so that you can see continue seeing and are protected and guided, but also you protect those who are around you, okay? And nobody said this was gonna be easy. Oh, hey. But you gotta make it easier for yourself. You gotta find that thing within you and God, the purpose, right? And then that's what it will continue to keep you going, okay? So that's where I'm going with the vision that I got as well. But I don't think I can do this. It's really long and I have to go do stuff. But definitely we all are a work in process, okay? It's like we have to trust the process, but we're a work in process. It's just that we always trying to control and define things, or trying to be a know-it-all or whatever. Like even us, like seers and prophetess and people like that, like we always have to constantly be checking in yourselves. Like we're not perfect, you know. I have stuff too that I'm still working with him, like to heal and stuff like that. This is another thing that this is your confirmation, but also you're like, you know, oh, this is why this is going on, is because God is doing some type of conviction or something like that, you know, because it needs to be balanced. The energy, it always needs to be balanced. Nature requires balance. Everything else requires balance. We can't always be on the go, or like, and he's teaching me this through this situation that I'm going through as well, which I'm learning, like, okay, like he's like, relax, like you don't have control over this, I do. And he's showing me in different ways, in different aspects, to different people, through going and listening to other people. And like as I'm going through stuff and adversity, and everybody thinks that, oh yeah, she's fine, everything is fine. I'm like, well, not really, but yeah, I'm just, glory be to God, you know, like, yeah, it's kind of like that. But a lot of you will understand this, right? All those of you, it will just like, okay, and that's okay. You can save the video, like the videos for other people to get it. You can comment, you know, but respectfully, okay? Because I will block and delete anything, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. But, or share this video if anybody needs to hear this, okay? But I feel like a lot of y'all are like shedding this different aspect of yourself, going through a different cycle transformation, but also like really understanding and trusting and having faith. And like, what does that mean, loyalty? What does that mean, integrity? What does that mean, compassion? Okay, empathy. Okay, so I've been apathetic. What does that mean, apathy? Right? Like really like only thinking about yourself and stuff like that, and then feeling some type of way like when people are like, you know, be careful with that one. That one hurts when you land down. When you fall from grace, yes. When you you think you're all that, but then you fall on your ass. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one is a sucky one. And this is where God comes in, like, oh, are you okay? You better now. Yeah, it's okay. We all fall and then go back up. It's not all like perfect dandy. This is why Jesus died for us and did all that he did. Read the words, yo. Whichever book you like, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, they're ancient and have an energy of ancientness, right? Or before you, before anything. And it also keeps us grounded in the flesh for the spiritual energy that we have inside. This is why words of protection and good affirmation and abundance and things like that for your body, for your spirit, for other people is actually very powerful. Words have power. Be careful, okay? And this is how I'm also alchemizing this energy as well, with his energy, with everybody's energy, even yourself. We are co-creating this moment as well. Everything is divine timing. So if you found this video, this is for you. Maybe you're experiencing that with another person. Maybe you're experiencing that with other people, and that it resonated, and God will use your energy, especially if you're like really a person that has been like purifying yourself, right? But it doesn't mean that if you're completely pure, like, oh my God, you're wow. No, everybody makes mistake. Everybody does. We all go like, it's not like a straight line thing. It's like, you know, just like healing, just like, yeah, everything is a process. Everything is a stages in life. Everything is like, you know, divine timing. Like, just you know, every lesson is different for everybody. Messages are different for everybody. Uniquely, they will bring intuitive messages for everybody completely different. It's all a learning experience. And just make sure you're forgiving, you're keeping your heart pure, and like, you know, say sorry, apologize, take accountability for responsibility, and you understand that there's nothing wrong with that. You're like, okay, it's part of life, it's part of like, this is how I'm learning, and the other person will learn through you as well. Like, they probably didn't know they were going to spiritual warfare while that shit was happening, you know, and then you kind of like intuitively like, fuck, that's what it was. I couldn't pinpoint what it was. Maybe you too, maybe you were going to spiritual warfare, maybe both of you are going to spiritual warfare, you know what I'm saying? Fuck, that fucking sucks. I've been in situations like that and it sucks, and then you both make mistakes. I'm telling you, c'est la vie. Life continues, and if it feels good and peaceful, keep that. If it doesn't, let it go, right? God is teaching us so many lessons right now if we pay attention and sit down like this, okay? And listen. Just listen. And you will understand. You're not fighting flesh. It's very spiritual, okay? It has nothing to do with, like, you know, everyone gets messages differently, but a lot of y'all, stress kills, he keeps saying, and today that was it. Stress kills and spiritual ego is using you. So be careful, coño. Carajo. Mira, Ramon. Mira, coño. See? Sucks. And the enemy uses it against you. The spiritual ego. Yeah, so be aware of that. Like when you see, you're like, oh, you little. Yeah. This is when you pray. This is when you like, okay, God, do I need to do fasting? Okay, I repent for this. Okay, yeah. You need to build this relationship, y'all. And then ask for forgiveness. Okay, how can I get that trust from the person? How can I forgive them? Okay, how can, you know, and you don't have to extra validate or try to be a people pleaser. Be careful with that one. But you will understand that both aspects, like there's no wrong or right, like you will see it, like it's all lessons, it's all love, it's all understanding, it's all clearing both of each other karmas that we are not, have no idea about, that only God knows. A lot of you will lose situations or things is because you didn't know you were going through spiritual warfare. You didn't know that you were going through so many things. You didn't know that God was protecting you from something. This is why it's also important to live this life, to enjoy this life, even through adversity, to grow, to evolve. You need to hold on to God, the Creator, right? Stop judging. Don't judge people. Or you judging yourself, right? Mind your own business. That's another one that I'm learning heavy, like, oh, mind your own business. Even if you sometimes you know more than you should know. Because sometimes I don't want to know, but I do. And then I ask God, can I release this? Can I not have this in my memory? Because I don't want to know. We all have choices and free will to do what it is, but as long as you keep doing it with good intentions, with kind intention, empathy and kindness and compassion and forgiveness, like really, and you see, this is stuff that I understand when I do 5-minute, 20-minute meditation or pray to God or talk to, like I'm telling you, and you will live better, you will find peace. This is why he wants you to have that first, so that you can overcome any adversity, anything that, any attacks that the enemy's trying to do, you can overcome it. It's called spiritual food, right? This is why high-ranking people, you know about spiritual food. But then again, you have to remember that your spiritual food needs to be nurturing, needs to be healthy, needs to be clean. So you need to clean yourself and purify yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know how to do it. God taught you. Use it. And it's your responsibility to help others at the same time to continue maintaining this gift. Okay? Okay, I gotta go. But yeah, you also, once you get whatever it is that you're gonna get, or whatever it is that you get, rewards or anything like that, and when you get convicted and you do better, and you know what I'm saying, there's rewards for that, right? Like, you don't need to advertise or anything like that. Like, only if God tells you, but whatever. You need to check that spiritual ego as well. Okay, This is for everybody, you know, everybody who God has blessed with beautiful gifts and talents, but also like not just reward as a tangible things that you can hold, but like spiritually, blessings, physically, with through other people or stuff like that. Like God's work through other people, right? So, and he always does whatever he wants to do. Like a lot of you like to put him in a box, divine in a box. You're like, you can't do that. He created you. Like, it's so weird. But I gotta go, guys. But the message was that stress skills, check the spiritual ego. I gave you a couple pointers of spiritual ego through experiences and also mistakes and stuff that I learned, and other people's mistakes and learning. And you know, it's not that we're failing or anything. It's not that God doesn't love us or God's punishing us or we're like, oh, you know, like, geez, like, yeah, once you do better and you show him that you're doing better, and then yeah, he will obviously always, you know, you will go through your conviction and you will get with that, like you repent and like, okay, and then he will show you ways where you can learn and do better and be a better person and like be a better person to other people, places or thing, whatever it is. Like a lot of you get stay stuck and stagnant, like, oh, and the shame and the guilt and the hate and just low vibration. Like he wants you to be better. That's how the soul evolves. It's not by staying, but like evolving, getting adaptive to situations and things that, you know, yeah, but also learning how to maintain that relationship and go within first, and then you can deal with other people, places, or things, or whatever situation, you know. It's just what it is. Okay, stop the comparing and competing with other people as well. That's, you know, that's a check-in every day on a daily basis. It's like a recharge thing. They flush it through Gaia. If you flush it out, whatever it is that you feel some type of way, jealous, envious, whatever, flush it out in your meditation and prayer, give it to God, and he will take care of it. It will use it as fertilizer. It will use it as maybe rain for whatever's going on in the forest right now. Right? God is the beast of alchemizing, right? Gaia. She alchemizes all the time. She transmutes all the time. You just have to pay attention. You meditating through a tree, hugging a tree, or whatever situation, that also helps to keep things humble, to keep things in balance, right? That way you connect with God when you have that little 5 minutes with the tree or nature, whatever, and alone time as well. There's nothing wrong with alone time, but there's nothing wrong with having someone around you and like enjoying those things that you enjoy as well. Okay? I love you guys. I hope this helped. I gotta go, but I'll see you in the next one for sure.